and welcome. Today, we are going to learn how to form and use the zero conditional. Here are some examples of the zero conditional. If you want to go to the cinema, meet me at 6 p.m. If you weigh 50 kilograms on Earth, you weigh 13,200 kilograms on Jupiter. Call me if you want to talk. If I study, I get good grades. Look carefully at these sentences. Which ones do you think describe a scientific fact, or something which is generally true? And which ones do you think give an instruction to do something? Okay, so. If you want to go to the cinema, meet me at 6 p.m., gives an instruction. If you weigh 50 kilograms on Earth, you weigh 13,200 kilograms on Jupiter, describes a scientific fact. Call me if you want to talk, gives an instruction. And, if I study, I get good grades, describes something which is generally true. These are all examples of the zero conditional. Let's look at, and listen to some more examples. You will listen to 3 different situations. Listen out for the zero conditional.
Do you like working in the restaurant?
I do, but it is tiring when there are a lot of customers.
Do you get a lot of tips?
Not often. But if there is a big order, I usually get a good tip.
It sounds like a good job.
It is. If it isn't too busy.
Okay, so here is some ice. When you heat it, it melts and becomes water. If you heat it to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. It freezes and becomes ice again when you lower the temperature to below 0 degrees Celsius. Dave, I'm going to a meeting now, and won't be back for the rest of the day. If Mr. Smith phones, tell him to meet me at the restaurant at 8 p.m.
Okay, so, the restaurant at 8 p.m.
Yes, please. Also, when the delivery arrives, check it and sign for it.
I will. Anything else?
I think that's all. Oh, and remember to turn off the lights when you leave.
Okay. So, let's look at how the zero conditional was used in each context. In the first conversation, do you know why the woman used the zero conditional? That's right, she used it to talk about things that are generally true.
It is tiring when there are a lot of customers. If there is a big order, I usually get a good tip. It is a good job if it isn't too busy.
What about the teacher? Why do you think he used the zero conditional? Yes, he used it to explain some scientific facts.
When you heat ice, it melts and becomes water. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Water freezes and becomes ice when you lower the temperature to below 0 degrees Celsius.
And, in the final conversation, why do you think the manager used the zero conditional? Yes, he was giving instructions to Dave.
If Mr. Smith phones, tell him to meet me at the restaurant at 8 p.m. When the delivery arrives, check it and sign for it. Remember to turn off the lights when you leave.
So, as you can see, we can use the zero conditional to talk about scientific facts, things which are generally true, and to give instructions. There are 2 parts in a zero conditional sentence. There is the if, or when part, which is the condition. And there is the main part, which is the result. These parts are separated with a comma. The verbs in both parts are in the present tense. You can change the order of the parts and the meaning will stay the same. But there is no comma when the sentence begins with the result. We can use unless instead of if to mean if not. For example, unless you give plants water, they die, means the same as if you don't give plants water, they die. Also, we can use the zero conditional to talk about general truths in the past. For example, when I was younger, if I helped my parents, I got pocket money. Notice that here we use the past tense instead of a present tense. Look at these questions. How would you answer them, using the zero conditional? Pause the video to give yourself time to write your answers. Now, find someone to practice asking and answering the questions. Think of some more zero conditional questions to ask.